Hello, Hamish here from mortgagesonline.co.nz. I've got Robin with me today. And how are you, Robin?
Good, yeah.
Robin knows a little bit about investment property, so we're going to talk about the top three things, right? Three things that he looks for in an investment property. Is that correct, Robin? Is that what we're going to talk about?
That's what we're going to talk about, yes.
Okay, so come on, mate. We can't keep people waiting. What are they?
Okay. So the first one is rental return.
Right.
You
want a rental return? That's handy.
I want a rental return, which is a high yielding property.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Number two, I generally look for a property that's got good bones and usable land.
Right. Good bones.
And number three is the main one, which is location. So most people generally know that with property. It's not always something that's achievable with high yielding properties, but the general location's definitely an important one, obviously.
Okay, let's get into some of these into a little bit more detail. So rent return, high yield, what do you mean?
So yeah, high yielding, generally what I'm looking for is a property that's got enough return to cover all my costs. So things like interest rates.
Yep, so it pays for the interest, not necessarily the principal, but the interest.
Correct. Something that's covering your insurance.
Right, insurance in there as well, yeah.
Yeah. Something that covers the rates of the property, annual rates.
Council rates, yeah.
And generally something that's also covering, I suppose, your long-term, if there's expenses, there will be expenses on the property.
Yep, but also the property manager, right?
And property manager if you're using one, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so generally you're looking for something that will, at least when you buy it or with a tidy up, achieve, basically pay all of that.
So something that's going to be a zero cost to myself to hold that property long term.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Now, good bones.
So yeah, with good bones, I'm generally looking for properties that are of a particular era, I guess. Ones that are between the 40s and maybe 70s, weatherboard style houses.
Yep.
It's not always the case, but I generally find them easier cosmetically to change the property. And they generally hold up a little bit more as far as the structure is concerned. They're easily usable, as far as if you're adding decks or manipulating walls and things like that. So something that's not too complex in that aspect, and you can add value quite cheaply and quite easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
And location, what kind of things should we think about there?
Yeah, location, generally things, the normal stuff, whether a property's close to bus routes, schools, upcoming developments, cafes, things like
Shops,
that.
Yeah.
Something that's going to hold some value for the property long term, as well as if there is any development happening, it's definitely going to hold more value long term as well.
Development in the city, right? Kind of like not necessarily like new properties, you mean, but
not necessarily new properties, but there's development happening.
Money
all the
going
time.
into the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing that location helps with is obviously quicker filling out of vacancies, right? If a tenant moves out, it's easier to get another one coming in.
Correct. Yeah.
All right. Look, I think that's been pretty helpful. I think is there any last bits and nuggets or anything you want to tell our viewers about? If you're having any trouble, probably go to mortgages online. Oh, what a
.co.nz.
But just calm down there, Robin. We don't want to make this an advertorial, Thanks for listening. Hopefully that's been good for you.